Hello, everybody. My name is Lily Beth Espinal, and I'm going to be doing my presentation today on what is global etiquette. So, global etiquette, they're cultural tips to keep in mind when around other cultures, so they vary from country to country around the world. Etiquette literally means the codes of polite and proper behavior within a society or a specific professional group. But because this is global etiquette, then it's considered all around the world. Some examples that might leave you guys shocked because they're completely different here in America would be, for example, that belching in Taiwan is considered a compliment to the chef, meaning that when you're at a restaurant, by you belching, you're complimenting to the chef that you really enjoyed your meal. This is shocking to us Americans because here, belching at a dinner table, that's disrespectful. Another example is that in Asia, business cards are seen as a disrespect card when given, which is shocking for us once again because for us, a business card is the way that we communicate, hey, I have my own company, or hey, this is the company that I work for, and here's how to contact me if you need me for my service. So, yeah, those are a little shocking. To continue, what global etiquette shows when one has global etiquette is that it shows that one is globally aware of their differences, that one is kind, that one is courteous and respectful, and that they're willing to develop a relationship with all different types of people, not just what they're familiar with. Why is global etiquette important? There are an infinite amount of reasons on why global etiquette is important because they vary so much. But the main three that I wanted to share with you guys is that it's a fast changing dynamic in and out of the business world. It shows sensitivity and respect to others' cultures, so it shows that you care and that you're respectful of the fact that people do things differently from what we're used to. And it increases formality in the business world, which is a big one as well. So um, tips to bridge the cultural gap. I'm going to share a few with you that I felt were the most important from the ones that I read up on. The first being, and the most important, which is to show respect. This is the most important tip of them all because one cannot practice global etiquette and have disrespect for other people's values, culturally speaking, because you're not practicing global etiquette if you're being disrespectful or shaming somebody's values or ways of life. Another way to bridge the gap would be to show interest. One must show that they care and that they're open and like learning the new culture or the new ways that global etiquette is done around the world. This could open up business relationships and it could also open up friendships. Another thing that could bridge the cultural gap is to be aware of your exact location. There is nothing more humiliating as a visitor to another country and not knowing where you are. So it is very important to be an informed tourist or an informed business, company worker because it's almost an insult to locals of, wow, you're coming to do business in my company or you're coming to do business in my country and you have no idea where you even are, if north or south of Italy, for example. Another thing is to inform yourself on the manners that are done within wherever you're going, and that is because you have to have manners when practicing global etiquette. Um, so another thing would be to learn the appropriate greetings because they are so diverse. Um, saying hello the way that we do could be completely different in another country, basically, is what I'm saying. So know how to approach people and don't just assume that they approach one another just like we do here. Like, for example, we feel very comfortable with saying, excuse me, and tapping somebody on the shoulder, but in another country, that could be completely insulting or scary to them, for example. So, what to avoid? So, I'm going to share three things that I thought were the most important on what to avoid and would be the safest, I think, probably in anywhere within the world. And that is avoid discussing religion or politics. It is safe just to avoid these things because you never know if politics or religion is a reason why the hypothetical country you're in could be at war, for example. So don't bring up politics or religion unless the locals do it first. Then you're welcome to have that conversation. And then another thing is saying no. Try to avoid saying no because in many countries, a flat on no is almost considered an insult and impolite to people. This is true in a lot of Asian countries and Spanish countries. They think you're being rude when you're saying no, so no thank you would be better. Using rude hand gestures or hand gestures, period, is a big one to avoid because, yes, we think a wave, hello or goodbye, means hello or goodbye because that's what we're used to here. But in another country, it can mean something completely different. So we don't want to offend or scare or disrespect someone, so it's safest to communicate things with words. A lot of the things to avoid in global etiquette are almost impossible to list and have them all because they're infinite, but it is understanding if you were to unintentionally offend somebody. And a lot of the time, locals do understand it, and they actually respect you if they realize that you informed yourself on global etiquette within their country. So, what to keep in mind? Global etiquette is impossible to avoid because of the reason that if you are avoiding it, then you're not being properly welcome into a country. You're almost offensive to the locals, and that is the reason why you want to inform yourself with global etiquette. Another reason why it's impossible to avoid is because there are infinite amount of religions and cultures and values within the entire world. So it's impossible for you to not have to confront it and inform yourself on how a certain country works. Um, Also, another thing to keep in mind is to have global awareness is the first step to bridging the cultural gap, meaning that if you're trying to be culturally aware and globally aware of your surrounding wherever you're traveling or performing business, then you already are on your way to bridging that cultural gap of not knowing, you know, global etiquette within a specific country. Another thing to keep in mind is to be informed, to be prepared, and observant. These three things are vital when practicing global etiquette. If you're not informed, you look like you're a lousy business person or you look like you're a lousy traveler because as a tourist, they find it respectful and appreciate when somebody informs themselves. And in the business world, if you're performing business in another country and you have no idea how they perform business and you don't inform yourself on these things, then you could potentially close or not close a deal because of not preparing yourself on how business is done within a country. So, another thing that I wanted to say before ending is that one will enjoy a culture much more when practicing global etiquette. And locals will feel very happy with one's presence when you are trying to inform yourself and you are trying to practice the customs, the values, or maybe not practice, but by simply showing that you respect it, that you admire it, that you're interested in learning about it, it is a huge appreciation for locals, and they will welcome you more. They could potentially build a friendship with you. Or, like I said, in the business world, this can allow you to close a deal. So, global etiquette is very important in and out of the business world, and I think it is something that we should all aim to do. Thank you.